So what I'll be presenting is really a bit afield from what might typically be discussed in a meeting such as the one we have here today. I'm really going to challenge people to think more about what a patient experiences and how the pressure that the healthcare system is under has to really influence the way we approach drug development and some of the things that we should be thinking about in the future, whether it's capacity or the need for more disruptive technologies, or even perhaps as importantly, focusing more on what the patient experiences, because what the patient experiences informs everything behind us. Incredible use of disposables, more highly automated systems, even the analytics that we use in process monitoring, and this is something that's relevant for us if I just stay within the realm of bioprocess development. Right now, we always are challenged with projects which require capacities we haven't quite planned for, and as a consequence, it forces us to think in a more decentralized way. That, coupled with evolving economies that want to do things more locally, challenge our historical approach to do things in a very centralized way, and maybe in the future we're going to have to be prepared to take on some of the methodology in a more decentralized manner. Talent, talent, talent. The engineering is extraordinary, the ideas are great, our ability to recruit, qualify, train, and retain talent, I think is tremendously challenging for us. Here we are in Boston, it's a super cluster, roughly 62,000 people in biopharma last year. A lot of motion, people moving constantly. That's not easy for any one individual company. It's great for people in their career development, but if we're not willing to invest to keep the pool of talent flowing, not only here, but in all other jurisdictions, it will ultimately become a real bottleneck for us. Well, we're very excited about continuous manufacturing, something that was done in the film industry back in the late 1800s. We're now seeing it applied more routinely in the small molecule manufacture. We in biologics have been late to the party, and we'd very much like to change that. The other thing that I think is emerging is facilities that are multi-use, smaller footprint, and redefining what it means to work in those facilities and how we transition from project A to project B to project C and around. It's humbling. Working with patients is extraordinarily humbling. And for some of us who've had the privilege of coming from the rare disease space, we get to know people, their families, first name basis. It's very personal for us, and I think that everyone in this industry, I'm sure has a loved one, a relative, someone who has an illness that they would like to be able to reach out and touch with something that they're doing. So I think we should all learn from the rare disease experience and take it just a bit more personally. This is how we vitalize and revitalize ourselves. It's meeting the colleagues, it's challenging perhaps preconceived notions, and as importantly, it's simply about staying connected to what the rest of our community does, both technically, both academically, and also making sure that we can influence the direction we go in.